This was a story that I found interesting and really sums up the consequences of being a idiot liberal white woman and raising a child who's now willing to attack you over bad things you say about black people. Imagine that. Now this involves a bad Barbie, I think that's how you're supposed to pronounce that. The Catch Me Outside chick who gained fame for being a bad wigger white chick who was being disrespectful towards her mother. And she was a young teen, underage teen at the time when she was on Dr. Phil's show. And like creepy weirdos, uh, a large number of men obviously were just biding their time until she turned legal so they can then subscribe to her porno account and so they could get off because they just fantasize about her being legal for them to masturbate to her, which has now allowed her to have a lot of money, making money off of creepy weirdo simps. But anyway, apparently she recently beat her mom on video, a video she decided to then share, by the way. And she supposedly has cancer while she videoed herself or had a video of herself beating her mom. And she said that she beat her mom because of her racism, stating, quote, "My mom calls black people monkeys." And what makes that even more interesting is because this same chick, not too long ago, got the living hell beat out of her by her black baby daddy. But, instead of beating him down or getting somebody to beat him down, she just got back with him, hugging and kissing him. And to me, this perfectly sums up the deserved, and yes, I said the well deserved consequences that all liberal white women should experience, where they raise their child to hate themselves, being so called white, to the point they go out of their way to then be a wigger white chick who's basically willing to kill them over their insults towards so called black people, but would allow black people to beat the living hell out of her and call her a culture vulture all her life because she's a wigger and do nothing about it. And in fact, in the case of her baby daddy, go right back to the man that again could have killed her. And so, you know, this is the mom's fault. It's the daughter's fault because she's an adult doing this, but it's the mom's fault because I'm sure she wasn't a good mom. In fact, there's no such thing as a good parent, especially a good liberal white parent. You can't be a good liberal white parent because you have to subscribe to an ideology that teaches your child to hate themselves. Now, in the case of most liberal whites, they generally don't live around Negroes. I get the sense that this was a family that actually lived around Negroes, and so that's why she's really sort of full on, perfectly cosplaying a Negro, light skinned white chick. I mean, light skinned black chick, but she's white because she actually lived around it. But in most cases, like this video that I recently saw from the In Wokeness Twitter account, who was talking about trust black women. In most cases, liberal white women and liberals in general that are white, including the men, but the liberal white women stand out because they run the household ultimately. But anyway, liberal white women, most of them virtue signal from a safe distance. So they can say all this trust black women, let them lead the way BS. But then when you see where they live, you see where they send their kids to school, is overwhelmingly majority white. And me personally, I feel like these women, especially these liberal white women, they should, in an ideal world, they would be forced to be deported, removed from their majority white neighborhood and forced to live in a black ghetto in the hood, or at the very least in the area where they're not the white majority. Because I really can't stand these people that virtue signal from a safe distance and then vote in elections to make things worse for everybody else while they continue to virtue signal from a safe distance. But anyway, apparently this recently happened, and when I came across it, it reminded me of a story that I did on my previous channel about how she got the hell beat out of her by her baby daddy and went right back to him. I mean, again, that's the consequences of raising a mug shark, a wigger, or just a white liberal in general. They feel it's okay, literally feel it's okay to be victimized by a POC, and especially a so-called black person, because of their, self-hate that not only do the media preaches and teaches to them, but their own family members do as well. And you see it clear as day, especially every election season, because no one in their right mind that's white should be voting Democrat. In fact, white people should be voting Republican or at least conservative the way black women vote Democrat, because it's a party that's blatantly anti-white. But again, you can't save people from their own self-destruction. Which is why I don't waste any time trying to push any save Negro logic towards so-called black people in general. And liberal whites fall in that same category. In fact, it's just an issue with liberals in general because they're all self-destructive in their own way. But anyway, that's all I have to say about this.